everybody. Welcome back to We Are the Batman. I'm Mike.
And this is Matthew.
It's time for our weekly podcast where we like to do all kinds of different things. Sometimes we talk about what's going on in the current world of DC. Sometimes we like to read comic books. And sometimes you guys tell us you don't give a shit if we read comic books. So you guys let us know in a big way. So to keep things a little more on topic this week, there's been a bunch of DC news that's come out in the last week. We figured we would get to, so we will definitely get to that as usual. But this is the podcast, so we do have some things to get to beforehand. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel while you're on your way down to comment about how we're not covering this stuff at the top of the video and how we're clickbait. Subscribe. It's on the way. And as always, follow us on social media at WATB Pod, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads for however long those things continue to exist. Who knows anymore? We're not on Blue Sky. No, that's just no, guys.
I'm not even sure what that is still.
It's just not Twitter. That's just all it is. Okay.
I thought Threads was not Twitter.
It is. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
What's that other thing?
Matt,
isn't there a different one?
Yeah, there's like 30. Matt, I do it for a living and I don't understand it.
Gray Mountain? What was the other one?
There was Mastodon was one.
That's what it was. Mastodon.
Yeah, there's I don't. Blue Sky. What the hell knows, man? I don't. I just
light the beacons.
Beacons was one, I think. What was the one that everybody was really into during COVID? The voice chat one.
Marco Polo.
No, Marco Polo. I do know Marco Polo. That's one, but it was the one that was like exclusive. You had to get invited to, and it was I don't know.
Yes. I think I remember.
And it was done.
I don't remember it called.
Yeah, it lasted about as long as Among Us did. Or Fall Party. Remember the week that everybody was playing Fall Party?
No,
whatever it's called. Anyway, or Fall Guys. Anyway, nothing new that we're talking about. Matt, what have you been watching lately?
I found this hilarious show called Gary and His Demons. It is.
What is that?
Is it Gary and His? I think it's Gary and His Demons. It's this weird, like, rated R cartoon about like this working class dude who just happens to be the chosen one who has to fight all the demons. But he's like the biggest loser ever. But he just happens to be like really good at fighting demons and kicking butt. And it's just this weird hysterical thing where
I don't recognize anybody in it.
Oh no, this is one of those things that like somebody made something that people liked. Like he got somebody to okay it and give him money. He made it. He ain't done nothing.
This is a passion project.
But it is hilarious, and it has a second season. And I found it, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. Let me watch it." And then like got like 2 or 3 episodes in, and I was like, "Why do I feel like I'm kind of lost?" And then realized that for some reason Amazon Prime started me on the second season, so I had to like go back and watch the first season. So I'm almost done with the first season, and then hopefully the second season will make much more sense. But they're like 10 or 12-minute episodes. It's not a long show, but it's
that's not bad.
Really funny. It's really
not
funny.
Bad at all. No.
Yeah, we're watching like 3 or 4 episodes a night. It's hilarious.
Perfect.
And then we finally watched The Boy and the Heron or Heron, whatever, the new Studio Ghibli.
Oh, how was that? I'm not an anime. I've every year, and I can already hear everybody typing away in the comments. And again, please, thank you for the engagement. Please subscribe. I've watched. What was the one I watched? My ex, the one that was Spirited Away. Yeah, she had me watch Spirited Away, and it was one of those. It was like, okay, having watched this, was it Spirited Away? I don't remember. I watched it, and it was just like, okay. I get why people who are into this think this is like one of the greatest things ever. I'm good.
No,
I've never seen one that even My Adventures with Superman, which we sing the praises of constantly on this show. There's something in most anime writing that just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, I don't know.
There's like 3 or 4 of those Studio Ghibli movies. I think if you watch the ones I told you to watch, you would, I think, enjoy them. but most of them are like really like what is this about?
I have heard so many people say those exact words so many times. I'm 36 years old, Matt. You are a broken record to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Good luck is all I say to anybody.
Yeah.
Good, like the closest anyone's ever come is Hellsing Ultimate was cool. The abridged series is fantastic.
Well, I'm just talking about the Studio Ghibli ones. So there's tons of other ones I would suggest for you, but the Studio Ghibli ones, it is
Studio Ghibli is the closest because they actually, I don't know. I will say with Studio Ghibli, there is something about it. It's like, okay, but it's one of those like, okay, this I get. When I see a Studio Ghibli movie, it's like, okay, this I get. I get why people go nuts for this.
Yeah.
But you have to also just kind of be into that art form. And I'm just
because there's a lot of them I don't care for at all.
Yeah.
Like some of them, like Naruto, no. Berserker, no. None of those. Anyway, all that to say, it was not a good one, and we will probably never watch that again. We'll just watch Howl's Moving Castle or Totoro or one of those again.
Fair.
What about you? What have you been checking out?
What have I been watching lately? Mostly I've been watching because I've been just starved for stuff to watch. Just to have stuff on in the background when I'm working. Mostly I've had on Deep Space Nine on Pluto TV because they've got a whole Deep Space Nine channel that just plays it on a loop 24/7. So just, excuse me, tuning into that when it's on. And then that's pretty much it, really. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't had a lot of time to watch stuff this past week. I've had a busy week at work, and I'm getting back into doing stand-up again now that I'm back from the holidays. So I've just been busy. I've been mostly just listening to music more than anything else. So and also just trying to stay and reading comics. I bought Us. I finally went to the comic book store and bought Us, picked up everything that was in my box, and so got caught up on all the Absolute DC, all of Nightwing, Detective Comics, Batman and Robin. And man, DC is just cooking.
I need to go do that. I should probably go do that.
Yeah, dude, I will just say like Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, great, but there is some wordplay that happens because this is a bunch of Ultimate Marvel writers doing their version of DC. There is a play on words that happens with their version of something from the Batman mythos. And I'm not trying not to spoil anything.
Okay.
That just when I first heard it, I was like, okay, I get what that's supposed to be, but what is it? And then when they show what it is, I was just like, that's so clever. Oh my. I was just like that panel alone should have been like they took it to them in like their pitch of like, this is our take on this. And they, and Jim Lee was just like, here's a blank check, write down whatever dollar amount you think is reasonable for this.
Nice. Okay.
So, but I've also just been trying to stay up on top of all the crazy DC news that's been going on. But here's the thing, man. It's not just a DC news roundup. It's coming out of one very specific, I dare say, exclusive camp of DC. One that requires tickets, I dare say. Matt, do you have your tickets?
I do believe I have a couple pay stubs.
I'm good because we're going to need those tickets to get in to see the GUNN SHOW. Ladies and gentlemen, the GUNN SHOW is back on We Are the Batman podcast.
Great logo, by the way.
Thank you so much. I don't love the font, but it'll do for now. Haven't gotten to do one of these in a while because there's been so much just all over DC, and it's just like it's all just been Superman. Yeah. So it's like hard to do a GUNN SHOW when it's just Superman. But there's enough other stuff going on in the world of the DCU right now that we just needed to talk about it. So we're going to start with one that's a little bit older as of now. But this is the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. We knew that filming. You just yawned when I brought up Supergirl, and it looks like you were yawning.
That was not intentional. I'm sorry.
You prick.
That didn't mean. I was trying to hold it, Nick. Couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
We're recording this. It's 8:30 at night for Matt and 9:30 for me. So to be fair, it is end of the day.
Old man, it's time for nappy nap.
So Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow has started production. We knew it was starting production somewhere around the last week or so, but now it's like confirmed. James Gunn shared this honestly breathtaking in a weird way. I don't know why. Photo from behind Millie Alcock in her chair on the set. You know, with her wig on, or maybe it might be her hair. It's probably a wig. It's a movie. Clearly on a sound stage of some kind. And with the caption, thrilled to see cameras roll at Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden on Supergirl, with Craig Gillespie at the helm and the phenomenal Millie Alcock as our Kara Zor-El. Craig brings an incredible sensibility to this story, and Millie is every inch the unique Supergirl envisioned by Tom King, Bilquis Evely, and Anna Nagira. Craig Gillespie is directing from a screenplay that Anna Nagira and by Anna Nagira based on Tom King's run, which I still have not read.
I need to try
because I can't find a copy anywhere I go.
Yeah, I need to try it again.
Yeah, I need to read it.
What do you think of this?
I mean, I'm excited. It's exciting to know we're on to the next DCU project. There is a sense of like it's not just Superman anymore, because up until now it's just been we gotta get to Creature Commandos and then we gotta get to Superman. And that's kind of like Superman has kind of been our focal point, our mile marker. And now it's nice to see that the next thing in the DCU is in production. And also, and this is not a knock, but it's also not a James Gunn project. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to know that it'll be nice to know that to see how someone else is going to play in the DCU, because Creature Commandos is all James Gunn. Superman is all James Gunn. Peacemaker season 2 is 99% James Gunn. I mean, obviously the episodes are directed by different people, but this is the first one we're getting that has nothing to do. He's not writing it.
He's producing it, and that's about it.
He's producing it from the standpoint that like he is Kevin Feigeing this thing.
Yeah.
But it's not his movie. So yeah, for me, it's just a sense of like, yeah, man, we're going full steam ahead.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm kind of similar. I kind of, it's just one of those, I'm glad there's a plan. I'm crossing my fingers the plan comes to fruition. Like, given what's going on in the landscape of the internet, loving to hate whatever they can find to hate, because
we'll get to that.
Yeah. I think the fact that this movie is being made before their first film is released is interesting, because even the MCU, they were once Iron Man 2 was like, this is a hit. Then they did Captain America and Thor, and by then the ball was rolling and we're going to Avengers.
We didn't start seeing so-and-so will appear or will return, in the Avengers until after, I believe, Thor. I think Thor was the first one to do that. It may have been Iron Man 2, but I believe Thor was the first time we saw Blank will return in the Avengers.
So I think that's where I'm very interested, like, and not trying to be the Debbie Downer, but like, what happens if Superman?
That's never what you do.
Never. But like, what happens if Superman fails? Do you hope Supergirl succeeds and you guys keep going, or does everybody suddenly go and then we see what happens? But I don't think that's gonna happen, given how well Creature Commandos has been taken. But that is just a curiosity of mine, of like, because we're not at the goodwill yet. I think we will be with Superman comes out, and I think it's going to do great, and people are going to love it. But I think this is cool I prefer this than the week after Man of Steel does well, they go, cool, what do we do next? Why are you guys figuring that out now?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think, and to that point, I think it's one of those. I mean, obviously they know it's like, yeah, you can have a plan, but they also know they can't wait for one to come out to start rolling on the other, because just that's just not the way the world works. So I think that's why James Gunn has employed the policy of story first, get me a script. I think that's why they're doing it, is because they're like, we're not going to spend money on something, because because what ends up happening is, if you sign off on a movie before you have a script, then you're paying for a script you don't have.
Yeah.
And then you're just waiting, and you're still paying these writers to write, and you're still paying them to write, and you're still paying them to write, and they should be getting paid to write, but they can take as long as they fucking want.
Yeah. And then Marshall Ali gets 4 years older, and you still haven't gotten a movie out of him.
Then you blow it with Mahershala Ali. How do you blow that? How do you blow that? Oh, I'm really mad about that.
So now I'm excited. Beyond that, I don't know the girl. I don't know any of it, but I'm like,
Matt's not a Game of Thrones House of the Dragon guy, so I love her from that. So
I'm intrigued. Like, I like that we don't have to wait 5 or 6 years before the female superhero gets a movie.
Yeah, this is literally the film is scheduled to hit theaters June 26, 2026, under a year after Superman. So we're going to get Superman in July of this year, and Supergirl is in June of next year.
So how many months is this movie going to be filming before Superman comes out?
I would assume, it doesn't say it. It
started filming now.
Yeah, well, so we're assuming that this is, so I mean, we don't know for sure when it started filming. This James Gunn's post was shared on, the rumor was January 15th. He shared this post on the 23rd. Let's assume they started shooting on the 23rd.
Okay. Point more is February, March, April, May, June. That's 5 months.
Yeah.
Over or under, there's a teaser for Supergirl and Superman.
Not happening.
You don't think so?
You want to know why? Because she's in Superman.
So why not?
They're not going to tease. They're not going to tease her movie. No, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. They're not going to tease her movie till after Superman comes out. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because they have called this the summer of Superman.
Okay.
The focus is on Superman. The minute you drop her trailer, you take all the focus away from Superman. Yeah. Also, we don't know what happens to her.
Yeah.
So
2 weeks. 2 weeks after the movie.
I think the trailer. Well, no. Let's think about this. Superman's coming out in July. They dropped the trailer in December. If this is coming out in June, they'll probably drop it in December or November of next year.
I think that was a distance thing, not a.
I don't think you're wrong. I will say I think it'll be after Superman hits streaming.
I will say I think
it'll be after Superman hits streaming.
If the first 2 weeks of Superman being in the theaters, it does super gangbusters, there's gonna be a trailer.
I'll give you that. Well, no, I still think they're gonna wait till the movie's out of theaters. Because spoilers. Only because spoilers.
But there's no spoilers are 2 hours now.
you are not wrong, sir. I definitely think I think Superman, or I think James Gunn has shown he's real big about trying to make sure his projects don't step on each other. You know what I mean? So, like the releasing of the Superman trailer seemed like it was very well timed. It was at a point where like the hype was already, like, he made sure the hype for Creature Commandos was already up.
Yeah.
Before it, like, obviously if Creature Commandos wasn't doing well, I don't think he would have dropped that Superman trailer. I really don't. I think he would have. I think the reason he did is because he was like, okay, Creature Commandos can stand on its own.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop the trailer.
Tell us what you guys think. Let
us know. Please let us know down below. Let us know on social media at WATV Pod, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to get this stuff on YouTube and get a lot more other stuff there as well. Let's go on to our next story. Let's switch gears away from Krypton for a little bit. Okay. We brought up Creature Commandos. Let's talk about Creature Commandos for a little bit, because James Gunn actually answered to somebody on Threads. He was asked, did you go through a number of different characters for the team before going with the ones that you chose, and which ones did you consider for early on? And he announced some of the ones that he and some of these are weird. One of these was he definitely considered Wolfpack. Matt, nothing. Old man, nothing. Wolfpack, DC, nothing. Okay, cool. Let us know down in the comments. He also, I'm googling it. Google it. We'll Google these while I read them off. Wolfpack was one. Man-Bat, we know who Man-Bat is, who he actually referred to as one of his faves. Fingers crossed for Man-Bat in the DCU, please and thank you. He knew he wanted, but I knew I wanted to tell Weasel's story, so it felt like too many rabid and fuzzy characters. That's fair. You can't have Wolfpack, Weasel, and Man-Bat all in the show.
Wolfpack's a werewolf.
Nice. Okay. Nice. He considered Vincent Velcro, but wanted to choose a creature far outside the usual roster from another part of DC. Vincent Velcoro. I was about to say Vincent Velcro. What a weird.
Yeah.
So he went with Dr. Phosphorus
he's a
instead.
Soldier with vampire powers.
Okay. Replaced him with Dr. Phosphorus. He also considered Solomon Grundy, another favorite, but was pretty set on Frankenstein. He loves Solomon Grundy. Let's get some live action Solomon Grundy, please. A good live action Solomon Grundy. Gotham doesn't count. Neither does Arrow, because what Arrow did was dumb. And had an opportunity to be something cool, and they never did it. So those are, that's neat. That's cool. Stuff you would figure. Yeah.
Sure.
Now let's go to some other cool news. Now this is some really cool news, which is that Lanterns has officially begun production.
Okay.
Lanterns has officially begun production. Poor, I'm going to butcher this actress's name, and I apologize. Porna Jagannathan, I'm sorry, announced over the weekend that camera tests for Lanterns were set to begin on Tuesday of this week, so just a few days ago. Garrett Dillahunt, who is set to play some original characters, shared some pictures on Instagram stories as well. With the lighting setup being showed up, there were cast chairs, green screens. James Gunn also recently told IGN that basically what we're looking at for the current release order. The current release order for the DCU is Creature Commandos, which we had, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, Lanterns, Supergirl.
Okay.
That's what we've got. That's what's everything that is in production, set to be released, or is released. Everything that is, Clayface, we know is like we have a script in hand.
Yeah.
That's all we know. But it's not anywhere near production yet. But Lanterns they are getting to work on it. We'll see when Lanterns comes out, is what he went on to add, but they're set around the same time, with production slated to end on July 1st with a late 25, early 26 release for Lanterns. So it's looking like what you were saying earlier is both Supergirl and Lanterns are set to wrap production around the end of June, beginning of July.
Okay.
And so Supergirl will come out next summer. Lanterns we might see at the end of this year. But let's be honest, probably next year. Which I think is fine.
Maybe. What would be interesting, if we kind of go with what they're pacing at, is that December is their streaming thing, the summer is their film thing.
I like that.
I
like that idea.
That's
solid.
Keeps them constantly in. Now he didn't say anything about Peacemaker.
Well, no, actually, I was going to say he did. Actually, no, that throws that off, because it goes Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, Lanterns, then Supergirl.
Okay.
But I do think having Peacemaker in the mix is all the more reason to push Lanterns back a bit.
Yeah. Or like you do Peacemaker in October, November, Lanterns in March. So that you've got every 3 or 4 months is a new DC thing.
and they're very different. There's no like you can you don't need to worry about them one affecting the other. One is space cops and one is just the greatest thing ever created, hands down, bar none, with a bullet. But yeah, man, again, this is just that like you were mentioning, asking like how I felt about Supergirl being in production. It's the same thing. It's like, we're going, baby.
Yeah.
And like these are, and like this is not a knock on it, but these are all live action too. And I know that the animation stuff's canon in the DCU. Do not, thank you for the engagement. But we don't want
everything to be animated.
Yeah, and we can all agree that once it becomes live action, it applies a sense of legitimacy to it. Regardless of same thing with Star Wars. Like, we all love Star Wars Rebels, but once we see a Rebels character in live action, it makes it seem less childish, less kid stuff, less fantasy. And so Creature Commandos needs to be animated because it's just that fun and fantastical. But like knowing that these big talent packed, like art forward, story forward DC projects are going into production, other than a James Gunn project, other than a Superman adjacent project, is a good feeling.
Well, and we also don't know if, like, we don't know where season 2 of Creature Commandos is in production. I still think it's a lie, and it's actively going, and it's going to come up before the end of this year. But that's just me because I'm weird. But we also don't know, like, is there another animated thing going on? I'm still on the fence of Authority being live action or animated, but that's just me.
I'm honestly starting to be on the fence of whether or not Dynamic Duo is going to be DCU canon or not.
No way.
I don't know, man. If we're, I'm kind of starting to swing the other way a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. If we're already in a world where Damian Wayne exists, I don't know. I don't know, man. But also, hey, if you want to go ahead and establish the rest of your Bat family in the DCU,
maybe.
And you're going to animate it, go nuts. I don't know. We'll see. Well, speaking of, animation and people going a little nuts, let's get into our last story here, which is this Superman TV spot, which, we watch. I'm not going to react to it. It's a TV spot. Who cares? We watched it.
There's 3 seconds of new footage that everybody's losing their
and apparently those 2 seconds of footage are enough, apparently, because nobody knows, because everybody thinks they know better than a professional filmmaker. Anyway, I guess we should talk about this. So, there's this one like tracking flight shot of David Corenswet as Superman, and they're using a wide angle lens. And because using a wide angle lens on a person's face, it makes his face look a little bit weird because it's an action shot. People are like, "Oh my god, it's bad CGI." And James Gunn said, "No, it's not CGI. It's all real. It's just because it's a wide angle lens." And everybody said, "No, you're full of shit. This is going to fail." Restore the Snyderverse. Okay, are we done? Can we go home? You go home.
No, I was even going to bring it up, but you brought it up, so let's do it.
Just hashtag ride the algorithm, baby. I don't know. Like, I'm just look. We shit the bed so hard last week's podcast. I'm trying to make up for it, I guess. But
look. Let me say this. Okay, how many times have fan bros, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, DC, any of the things, cried and bitched about anything, and the thing happened? I can think of one.
Okay. We can all think of one, and we're thinking of the same one.
Are we?
It's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah, of course. It's the only time that's ever happened. It will never happen again. And that was a fluke. That was an absolute. It also has me wondering, like, okay, well, then was the original movie actually going to be that bad? Was it just the design? Like,
I don't know. Those movies are great. So anyway,
no, that's what I'm saying is like, well, then I guess maybe that original movie wasn't going to be that bad. The design was just atrocious. But either way, like I don't. Well, okay, actually, no, I can think of 2 times it happened. The other time was release the Snyder Cut. I understand. And look, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I was one of the people championing for release the Snyder Cut. That was different. Restore the Snyder Cut was different. That was a movie
was made. It came out. by somebody else. Bring it
That,
back.
we've had this conversation. We've talked about this. This is
look.
This is
guys.
If we couldn't stop Barry, if we couldn't stop fucking Ezra Miller's Flash from coming out, you're not stopping this.
No, look, Henry Cavill had his chance, and
other people mishandled it.
Other people mishandled it. He will never be Superman again.
Short of a cameo, he's not going to be Superman again.
He will never be Superman again.
Get over
ever,
it.
Ever.
Get over it.
It's not happening. Zack Snyder is never coming back to DC.
No. It's just tired. It's just tired.
Multiple different reasons. Okay?
It's just
You're
tired.
not going to get rid of Anthony Mackie as Captain America. No matter how misconstrued you're going to take something he said. These things are happening. Let's just enough. Look, it's a shot from the movie that's coming. Nothing you say or do is going to change that. Let's just be.
And you know what?
Wait for the film.
Brought this up? You know what brought this up in the first place was the fact that somebody. James Gunn posted the video to his own Threads or Blue Sky or Twitter, whatever. And just some rando on there chose to comment back to James Gunn. Yeah, the VFX on his face look a little off, but I'm sure you'll get that fixed up by the time the movie comes out. First of all, the fucking balls on somebody. The absolute fucking balls on somebody to for lack of a better word, tweet at James Gunn and try to Monday morning quarterback his trailer for his movie.
It's
like in a way that was also incorrect.
Yeah. My favorite was, what did I see the other day? I had to get out of the group because it was like who's been the best live action Superman? And they have David Cornsweet on the list. And I'm like, we don't know.
Guys. Oh my God.
How from the 2-minute trailer of him not talking?
Yeah.
Settle the down. It's enough already. Look, you guys want to argue who's the best between Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh, Christopher Reeve, the live action ones, the TV ones, as you will. But there is no evidence whether the guy is good or not.
Leave him out of it. Just leave him out of it.
I'm not even saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying anything.
You don't know. Trust me, guys. You guys have to realize I'm planning on flying out to Texas to hang out with Matt for opening weekend of this movie, so we can go see it together. The little anxiety-ridden part of my lizard brain that I have to medicate a lot of different ways to keep from losing it is so worried that I am going to spend so much money on this trip, and then the movie is going to be an absolute fucking disaster. It is. I have no reason to think it's going to be bad, but there is that little part of me that dreads the moment we sit in your car with the camera to record our fresh out of the theater review and just look at each other and just go, well, that just happened.
It's going to be this. It's going to be like.
It's like, do you want to talk about it? I don't want to talk about it. You talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
We'll talk about it on next week's episode. Yeah. We just started.
Oh, there's going to be just like, what was that?
Yeah.
So obviously, we don't want that to happen. We're not expecting that to happen. But
on a scale of Black Adam to The Dark Knight, it's Flashpoint. No.
Oh man. So all of that to say, go to film school, people. Take a photography class. Watch a YouTube video. Google it. I don't care, but don't at the guy.
And honestly,
and also, whatever you're taking, up the dosage.
Dude, And it was a cool shot.
It's cool. They did the exact same shot in the Batman when he's going up police headquarters, and it was POV of him grappling gunning. It's the same thing, just instead of grapple gunning up, he's flying, and it looked cool then too. Guys, that's what a POV shot looks like. You ever see when somebody like does a GoPro or some shit like that's what it anyway.
It was cool. I thought it was cool with a little spinny dip. It was great.
I thought it was dope. I can't wait for I'm ready for the story trailer to come out, the actual story trailer, and then I am ready to number 2, never watch another trailer again after that.
Yeah. I want to see the movie so people can shut up.
Yeah, I'm just ready for July to get here. Yeah. So let us know what you guys think about all this stuff down below in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel on your way down there. We love to hear from you guys. We love the engagement. We always want to hear from you. As always, remember, if we hit 500 subscribers, we'll do Superman and Lois. If you haven't checked that out already, please check out our Batman Beyond year 1 fan film reaction, which should be up on the channel now, assuming past Mike got around to editing it. Mike, you had a lot of time to do this, so I'm hoping you did. Okay, that was weird. Technical cut. Anyway, let us know what you guys think down below in the bottom, in the comments below. Subscribe on your way down there. As always, hit us up on all the social medias at WATB Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Find me on all the social medias at Mr. Mike Shea.
And you can find me at Mr. No, not at Mr. J Ninja. Woo! At The Hustle Man.
We changed it,
Matt.
Follow
me at The Hustle Man.
It's on the screen. Right there. And that's going to do it this week's episode of We Are the Batman. We'll see you guys again next time. Same bad time, same bad podcast channel.